Even with an AC in here, I'm absolutely dying. It's cooking.
You can hear it churning away in the background.
You can actually hear it?
Yeah.
That ain't good.
It's not bad. Like, it's not like this doesn't matter, I don't think.
As long as it's not an annoying, like, whispery sound.
No, that's just you.
Do you want to invite me into TikTok?
Yeah.
Welcome to the live, guys. So it's Sean and Sam here from Seller Smart FBA. Exciting day today for small business owners. Hopefully it means some positive news.
It won't.
It probably won't. What is it, like 7 prime ministers in 10 years? It's absolutely ridiculous.
I think it's been like, 30 years since the last prime minister actually did like a full term.
Crazy. Does make you wonder if the country is too far gone, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Remix.
What are you doing there?
All right, cool. I'm just going to let our community members know that we are live, and then I'm going to turn on the clicker. Have you got yours as well?
Yes, mate. Insta's working today for some reason, which is good.
Say again?
Insta's finally working again.
Oh, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
You can now.
Oh.
You clicked back on.
I thought you might have muted the wrong thing again.
No. 6 times the charm.
Right, let me get TikTok up. Yeah. Let me get the old clicker. Where is that?
I hope you guys are having a good day wherever you're watching from. Sam, don't forget to hit live on Instagram as well.
Yeah, it's live.
Very cool.
Your mic's very loud, mate.
Mine is?
Yeah, 1 minute super loud, next minute's really quiet.
That might be because of the fan on it. Hold on, let me move it. Okay, is that better on both things?
Yes.
Perfect, cool, guys. I hope you're having a good day so far today. It is cooking. I'm in the loft of my house where the insulation is all around me, so you can imagine. The chair is a bit. I'm gluing to it right now. Sam, how's your day been going so far?
Day's been good. Still early. I went to the gym and that was pretty savage. And then come home, did some Amazon work, and now I'm talking to you.
Very cool. What do you do in the gym today?
So I actually do CrossFit.
Okay.
The people despise it, but I've been doing it for like 2 years. I actually really like it.
CrossFit is cool. Like it's really decent, but I just know too many people with really serious injuries from it.
Yeah, you do get really bad injuries, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's like a type of movement or people doing the wrong technique or what, but yeah, it does seem to be very injury prone for a lot of people. It's the only thing I do which actually makes me go to the gym and makes me do stuff which I wouldn't normally do. Like today, I would never ever do any of those things in a normal workout. Like I went to like a commercial gym for ages, and I just go there, do bare minimal, literally feel like I barely even work out, leave, and then it was just a pointless session. Whereas at least now I'm actually forced to do a workout every single time. It's actually a decent workout.
Nice. Yeah, well, to be fair, any exercise that you can do is good exercise. Everyone just needs to find what they enjoy and then stick with that.
Yeah, exactly. I need someone to force me to do something. Otherwise, I'll quite easily do bare minimal.
Well, you're looking very good for doing it. There was a point where before the hair transplant and before the gym, you were looking a bit older than your time, I think.
Fat and bald.
Well, yeah, you look good now. Before we tangent too much away from Amazon FBA, let's go into a really pressing question of the day. Ask Shay has said, "Do we smell what the Rock is cooking?" Sam, what's your verdict?
I can't smell anything, so I'm going to say no.
Need some time to. Are you doing something today, my friend? Are you having a good time solo? What is it with YouTube Shorts?
Why is it? It's always YouTube every single time.
I swear it's middle of the day and people without jobs who just sniff too much creatine. They just have nothing better to do than leave random comments.
It makes me, when I come on in and see all the comments from YouTube, I like to, I'm looking forward to when the social media ban gets put in place.
All right, so the big news that we're all probably going to be talking about today is Keir Starmer obviously resigning as Prime Minister. We're an Amazon FBA company and we're here to help you guys build a small business. So whilst we're not political, it's inevitable that it's going to affect all of us. Whoever's in charge, whoever the treasurer is, it's going to affect all of us. So I think Sam and I are probably quite pessimistic about UK politics just because of the last, however long it's been, the last 10 years of tragedy. But it'd be really interesting to see what happens with the next guy, because small businesses were some of the worst hit over the last couple of years. So that includes all of us. That includes SellerSmart. That includes everyone here who has an Amazon business. The tax burden was put on small businesses was just absurd. Whilst you've got, Starbucks doesn't pay any tax. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So it'd be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah, 100%. I'm pretty pessimistic about it. I can't see anything changing. Like, it's just swapping out one numpty to another, and I can't see them making changes. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but yeah, I can't imagine much, to be honest with you. I don't know. Is Reeve still? Wasn't she going to get the sack if Starmer went as well?
The last I heard about her, she was crying at the idea she might lose her job, and I was like, if you don't want to lose your job, don't be terrible at it. Oh.
And how many times has she cried as well publicly? Like, even in that House Commons, there's videos of her crying, like, all the time. Like, if you're doing that job, you need to have thick skin and you need to have
composure.
Yeah, you can't just sit in the House of Commons and you're trying to manage the whole country and sitting there crying your eyes out. Like, it's pathetic.
It's so challenging. It's so challenging I really don't want to dive too heavily into politics, but you can't ignore it when it affects you so drastically as a business owner. And it's just wild. It's interesting to see where it's going to go. Flippy Kaye, welcome to the live. Thank you for joining. How's your day going, my friend? Are you enjoying your day so far?
How you doing, Flippy?
Well, I appreciate the engagement. Even if you are someone who needs help.
My TikTok's always so quiet at the minute. I don't know why.
It's consistency, isn't it? You only go live twice a week.
Well, I suppose. We do stick to the same times every week, so I thought it'd help. But
that's true. Yeah, that's true. Flippy Kaye's just made a very good point. He's preparing for midnight. Are you guys going to be staying awake until midnight for Prime Day? It's June 23rd tomorrow. It used to be a day, then it was 2 days. Now it seems to be going on for 4 days. It used to be in July. Now it's in June. Interesting. What are you doing, Sam? Are you going to stay awake for it?
I don't know. Like, for the last week, I've been saying no, I can't be bothered. I'm just not going to bother. And then I asked the group mental guys earlier. I said, "Who's staying awake?" And there's about 5 or 6 of them who all said, "Yeah, 100% they're staying awake." Then that made me think, maybe I should. So I kind of getting a bit FOMO already. So I might stay awake.
I remember spring deals. It was a bit pointless to stay awake until late, wasn't it? So I've never seen the point. I've always just thought just wake up at 6 or 7 and start then. Yeah,
so we spoke about this last week. We had a call in the mentorship around Prime Day and Amazon in general, and and we were talking about, obviously, is it worth staying up? Is it not? And I think So I guess it kind of is, right? So I never used to stay up, like never. It's only been like the last year. So for the last 3, I've sort of stayed up for them. And I'm trying to think, the main difference is, obviously, a few products do go out of stock. So you don't really want to miss them. And they can be pretty good products. So you will miss that. But there's still so many deals anyway. So it doesn't make a huge difference because there's still so much you can buy. But yeah, that is obviously a downside. A few products you do miss. And then I think One of the other downsides is the order limits. I've noticed if you stay up and something drops at like 12, you can get an order limit of, I don't know, maybe seven per account, and then the next day sometimes that drops down to like 2 or 3. So that can be a big difference on spend. So I think between those two things, they're like the main differences, to be honest with you. But yeah, staying up, I think I probably am going to stay up. I think I just talked myself into it without really having to do much. So yeah, I'll stay up. Why not? It was 2 o'clock in the morning. That'd be fine. When the kids wake me up at 5, it'd be fantastic.
Oh, sounds miserable. You couldn't pay me to do that.
Yeah, it's a slog, but it's worth it. FOMO, if not, just watch football until it kicks off. Is it? I guess World Cup's obviously on, isn't it? I don't really follow football, so I'm not really sure who's playing tonight.
No.
So I guess you've got you can watch a football match before big Prime Day.
Giet said, could you talk a bit about starting Amazon FBA as a sole trader or an LTD? I started as an LTD because I knew I was going to do this long term. I wanted to get into wholesale, which meant I wanted to VAT register as soon as I could, because a lot of wholesalers take you more seriously as a VAT registered seller. A lot of people go the sole trader route if they're just trying to figure it out and see if it's for them. The only difference you have to think about is the tax implications. Sole trader is going to affect your self-assessment, tax self-assessment more. LTD is a completely separate legal entity, so the profits and the revenue of the business is separate to your personal income. So have a chat with an accountant about it. We're not trained accountants. Legally, we can't give tax advice. We can't tell you which one to do. Claude and GPT are really good at breaking down the differences between the two and which one is more relevant to you. I'd say if you're more serious about it, then maybe an LTD is the right way to go. And if you're just dipping your toe in the water, maybe a sole trader. Anything you would add to that, Sam?
So it's all based on tax implications. Everyone is going to be in a different situation based on how much you earn from, if you've got a 9 to 5 or whatever other businesses or anything like that. It's all going to be based on that. So everyone's going to be completely different. Ideally, you want to talk to an accountant. They're going to advise you what the best thing to do is. I think it's always good to start off as a sole trader, because you never know if you're really going to like it. You never know if it's going to work out to what you think it's going to work out to. So you don't want to go for the hassle of setting up a limited company and then getting all that sorted for then like 3 months down the line, I think actually I don't even like this and I want to close it down, then having the hassle to close it all down. Whereas if you do sole trader, it doesn't really involve much work, so it's so much easier. And I think it's all going to be based on, as I said, your current income, right? So the reason people want to set up limited companies is to reduce their tax liability. I'm obviously saying this, I'm not an accountant or anything like that, so I can't really give you tax advice, but this is just how I look at it. And you don't really want to push yourself into that higher tax threshold. So let's say you earn 45k from your 9 to 5 job. You've only got a very small buffer there before you then get taxed on the higher rate of income tax, which is something you want to avoid. So in a situation like that, you're more inclined to really want to go down the limited route because you can offset that. Whereas if you, have a full-time salary of like 20k, 25k, then you've got a lot more room there before you then hit that sort of higher tax threshold. So that way you can effectively start as a sole trader, do a few thousand or like 20,000 whatever in revenue before you then have to or in profit, before you then have to pay that higher tax bracket, and that's when you'd switch over to limited company. But again, there's a lot involved in it. Like you should really speak to an accountant because they can really advise you what you want to do. But I think for the sake of the ease of it, just go sole trader, and then after a few months, you'd soon figure it out, and you know what you need to do. And I think changing from sole trader to limited is not that difficult of a process, to be honest with you. So it's probably the easiest thing to do, I would have thought.
CJ said, yo, world of books. What do you mean by that, CJ? Can you give me some context to that? I love reading, love literature, so definitely expand on what you mean there, unless, of course, you're referencing something.
This is banging. I don't know if you had it before.
Trip.
Good. Cherry lemon. Unreal. Not an ad, but fantastic.
Never even heard of that one.
Oh, have you heard of Trip?
No, never.
Never heard of Trip? Oh, mate, really good.
Your camera is fine on YouTube, fine on Instagram, but on TikTok it was inverted.
Inverted?
Yeah, you don't have to change anything though, because the image you're showing is fine. But when you were showing the can, it was inverted.
So I'm just testing.
I look very similar to the guy that runs World of Books. Let me look into him. I hear everything, to be honest, mate. I hear I look like Conor McGregor. I hear I look like the bad guy from Mission Impossible.
Who tells you to like Conor McGregor? They need their eyes tested.
Yeah, it's my partner's family, because they're all Latinos. They just think I look like a generic white guy, I think.
Just any white guy looks like with a beard.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor.
World of Books. What's the name of the guy? I can't find him.
I don't know. So EM says, where does 4K put a starter on Where does 4K put a starter on FBA? I'm not really sure what you mean by that. I think having 4K, I can sort of interpret it how I think you meant. Having 4K is a great position to start in, to be honest with you. I think anything like, to me, I think you need 2K plus in order to start. Any less than that, I think it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very slow. Excuse me. God, that trip's going through me. And then it's going to take you a long time to get started. Whereas 4K, you've got enough capital there to invest in stock, invest in some ungates, and then just really get the ball rolling without sort of sitting on your hands too much. So I'd say, yeah, 4K is great. I think it's definitely a good position. I think if you want to know where 4K can take you in, I don't know, let's say a year's time, what your sort of store is going to be looking like. If you go into our free Discord group, I'm not sure if you're already in there, check out the free Discord group. The link's in both mine and Sean's bio. In the beginner chat of the Discord group, Sean has pinned a AI prompt, which you can put into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever. If you copy that prompt into an AI tool, change the figures around to obviously suit yourself, and then go shoot that off. That will give you, their response will give you a realistic sort of time frame on where that's going to get you, and then you'll sort of understand if you're going to be in a good position, and I guess where you're going to be in the next year. So obviously, next year or so.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if you're going to start with 4K, schedule a call with us, have a chat about our one-to-one or our group mentoring, because we can help you avoid all the beginner mistakes, and we can give you the strategy to make sure that you pop off to a really good start. Anyone with that kind of capital is going to find results a lot faster working with us, I would say.
Yeah, so someone gone ghost resellers. What do you do? So sell on Amazon, mate. So we all do online arbitrage on Amazon. That's what we're sort of talking about. So we buy products from, I guess, by your name. I think you're pretty clued up with reselling, I would have thought. But yeah, we purchase products from UK retailers. Could be John Lewis, Boots, Currys, Argos, Home Bargains, that sort of thing. Buy them at ideally discounted clearance rate or with discount codes or something like that, and then we resell them back on the Amazon platform, mostly FBA, so fulfillment by Amazon. So that's what we do. Got any questions? Let us know. EM said, how should I book that one? Sorry, EM just saying, how should I book that one-to-one chat? Drop me a message, mate, or just Sean a message. One of us, drop us a message on. Try and do it on.
Message me on Discord. So if you join our Discord community, let us know your Discord name. Drop me a message and we'll schedule a call. If not Discord, you can follow us on TikTok. We'll follow you back and we'll send you a message. Yeah,
definitely. TikTok's is just a bit of a pain because both people need to be following each other. You can't send links and all that. So yeah, Discord's always best. But ping us a message on WhatsApp, and then we can get that sorted. We can have a chat.
Anyone who wants to schedule a call with us at all, Discord is the best place. Instagram is the next best place because Instagram messaging is better based on what Sam just said. TikTok is really annoying. The guy who said I look like the World of Books guy, Dan Mutcher, is who I can find. He's just an old dude with a grey beard and he has the same glasses.
I'm going to Google him. I reckon you do.
Dan is much Moocher, I'm guessing. Eddie, how did you get to 1K subs? So we're actually on TikTok, we're on 2K. I don't think we're at 1K on YouTube yet, just because we put more effort into short form. I'm going to start posting long form videos again soon. So do you mean how do you get to 1K subs, or how did we? And if you mean how did we, is it a hate comment or is it an actual question? Because if you're asking it as a hate comment, we got to the subs that we have by helping people with Amazon FBA. That's how we got here. I'm going to assume it's a pleasant comment rather than a hate one. Kian FX said, hi, I've started FBA 2 weeks ago, but I struggled to find any products. Could you advise me, please? Yes, Kian, welcome to the live. You have just started a new skill. And like any skill, you are terrible at it right now because you don't know anything about it. That's normal. In order to get good at something, you first have to start by sucking at it. Just like any skill, the more time you put into it, the more consistency you put into it, and the more you learn from your mistakes, the better you'll do. So right now, you don't know how to manufacture your margin. You don't know how to get products cheap enough to be profitable. You need to do discount codes, cashback, discount gift cards, coupons, NHS discounts, student discounts, stack them. You need to do all these things. You need to use Keeper and SellerAmp SaaS. You need to use both of them. And you download all of our free stuff. So join our free community, download all of our free stuff, go through the free course that teaches you the fundamentals, and ask questions, mate. Ask us as many questions as you can. We have an auto ungated tool, so you're going to be restricted in a lot of brands. Definitely recommend giving that a try. So far, people have been getting absurd amounts of results from that. The average I've been seeing over the last couple of days is between 5,000 to 7,000 brand unlocks, which is just absurd. Cow is cooking in the background. And we will have a sourcing course coming out soon. I don't know when that's going to come out. We do have a fully expansive course, but to be fair, the sourcing course is all you need, and it will be a lot cheaper. But honestly, you can get started just by playing around with SellerAmp and Keeper. Would you add anything else to that, Sam?
No, I think, look, practice makes perfect, right? Like Sean said, you're going to be crap at it. It's very normal. I think you just need to keep going. To try not to overwhelm yourself and do so many different sourcing methods at once. There's obviously a fair few out there. Stick to, I don't know, try and do like maybe one a week. See how you get on. Then after you've sort of done one each week, then stick at that for like the whole week. Then at the end of the month, whatever, you can think, okay, well, I was terrible at that one. I kind of like that one. That one I got the most leads of, and then just narrow it down to like two, and then just focus on those two, because you're going to have much more success being a master of one or two things than you are of just trying to averagely do all of them. I think that's sort of the best advice to get started. But it is a slog, mate. But yeah, you will get there. Just need to keep working and put the effort in.
Someone in our community just got their first authenticity complaint, so I'm just helping him with back and forth. But it creates a really good talking point. So when you get an authenticity complaint on Amazon, not if, when, you do not need to panic. It is just Amazon's way of validating what you're selling is real. So you need to collect the invoices with your VAT information and your registered billing address information, have your bank statements, have every proof that you can that what you purchased is real. Go through the appeal process and you'll be fine. If you really struggle to get it removed, because it can be annoying, you have to keep reapplying now, then you can talk to our account recovery expert. But if you get a Section 3, if you get an authenticity, even if you get IPs, don't panic. It's just part of the game. Do you guys have a VA or do you source yourself? Yeah, Kian. So one of the elements of our business, if you see up here, one of it is recruiting VAs. So we have a VA recruitment agency called Recruit Smart. We have access to really, really talented virtual assistants. Sam is very well known in the space for having absolute A player VAs. His VAs are incredible. The most amount of VAs I've had at one time is 4. Cow and our teams had, I think, 10 at one point, where he was really, really scaling. Virtual assistants are amazing, but it depends how much cash you have to start with. If you're not making £1,000 profit and you don't have a lot of cash, then you can't afford a VA. It's not the right time to get one. But if you're starting with some more capital, then it can be a good idea. You said yourself you're struggling to find products, which tells me you might not be ready for a VA. Because if you get a virtual assistant, if they ask you questions, you're not going to know how to answer them. VAs can be amazing, but it's always good for you to know how to do the job first. You don't have to, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think you want to understand what it is you're outsourcing before you outsource it. Because, like you say, if you get in situations where they don't understand things, you need to be able to understand how to navigate out of it and how to explain the situation to them. Whereas if you've never done it or not very good at it, then it's going to be a bit harder. Especially VAs, like they're not, although they're going to be good coming out of the training or recruitment or wherever you get them from, they still need one-to-one support, and that's going to be ongoing. So you need to be able to give that to them, and you need to be able to share your knowledge on sourcing with them as well, so you can sort of both help each other.
Yeah, 100%. I know how to see when a product is profitable. It's just finding the deals, etc., that is challenging. So one thing I would say to you again, mate, I say this with all love and respect, right? We've coached quite a lot of people at this point. People in this space who think they know how to do this to a high level, when they join our mentorship, they realize they don't know how to source that well. So you'd be amazed at how much there is to learn. There are so many layers to it. So you may be able to spot a good lead, but we have people in our mentorship who've been selling for 3 years. And since working with us, they've completely changed their buying behavior because they're now buying leads that before they would have thought were bad. Everyone has different styles to purchasing. So even though it's data, there is a bit of an art form to it and a bit of like risk tolerance that each person's going to be different with. So yeah. So just be open to the idea that you've only just started. There's a lot to learn. Even in 3 years' time, if you're consistent for the next 3 years, you're still going to be learning. We all are. We're all learning as we go.
And the analysis is different from each person as well. Like there's been so many people who join the mentorship, and one of the first things I do, especially if they've been selling for a while, I want to analyze what they've been buying previously and what they're currently selling. And the way some people analyze deals is very different across the board. Certain people will miss things, other people will spot other things, and it's good to have like another set of eyes on it to think, okay, well, you thought that was a good deal, but if you check this and this out, then it kind of makes it not. Or likewise, you thought that was a bad deal, so you didn't buy it. But actually, if you look at this and this, then it looks actually like a pretty good deal and you could have bought it.
Yeah, 100%.
John Williams.
I was just going to say, I see what you're saying, though. If you had a VA who gave you leads, you would feel comfortable knowing what ones are good to buy. Yeah, maybe consider it. Again, Kian, how much money are you starting with? Because that's really important to know. If you're starting with like 3 to 5 grand, maybe you can afford a VA. If it's anything less than that, then you're just not at that stage yet. But don't worry, you'll get there. It does genuinely. It can happen very quickly. If you're starting with 2K, unfortunately, you're just not at the level where you can afford a VA yet. Even a prep center, I would say, is probably not the best idea for you at the moment. But starting with 2K is really good. You'll be able to start properly with 2K by yourself, but you'd have to do it solo.
And the reason for that is the fact you just don't have the capital for it, is because you need to pay the VA like between £350, £400 a month salary, right? So that's gone straight away. So now you're down to like just over 1,500 quid. And then you need to pay them that obviously every single month. And then you need enough capital in order to buy the leads they provide you. And let's say you spend 4K on leads at like 10% margin, which ideally you should be doing better than that, but this is just as an example. You spend 4K on leads, 10% margin, right? You've made £400, and that is just going to go straight back to the VA to pay their salary. And you're just going to be in a never-ending loop like that. You're never going to have enough money to buy enough leads to pay their salary plus a lot more. So it's just you're just not in a worthwhile position. Like ideally, you need to be making at least 3 or 4 times what the VA costs every single month in order to make it seem like they're worth getting. If you're not doing that, then it's just going to be very hard. You're just going to be constantly paying their salary and just not really getting much out of it. You should be going through the motions, and that's generally about it. John Williams said, for Prime Day, guys, would it be better to focus time on Keeper Deals or Keeper Product Finder, or just switch between the two alongside bots? Switch between the two alongside bots.
100%.
I think, yeah, that is the best thing to do. for me, that's what I do. Like, I will look at Keeper Product Finder. I'll then look at Keeper Deals. I'll have them both sort of running together. Bots, I'm not in any group, so I don't rely on any bots. But yeah, Keeper Product Finder, Keeper Deals. That's what you want to be looking at.
Yeah, completely agree. I was going to say the same thing. Jump between the two. Keeper Deals, you'll be able to go through pretty quickly. That's where you jump to Keeper Product Finder, and then. We don't have anything available for you guys yet, but next time Prime Day comes around, we'll have our software available for you guys to use as well. Kian said, that makes sense. Thanks, guys. No problem at all, mate. The stage you're at, everyone feels that way. Honestly, you don't expect Amazon to be a skill, but it is. If it was so easy that I could just jump on my PC and find a deal and buy it and sell it for profit, literally everyone would do it, and it would be too competitive and then it wouldn't work. There is a skill. Even if you find leads, that doesn't necessarily mean they're good leads. The skill comes in finding stuff that other people can't find. So some of the best products I had no competition in them because back then, I've been a really huge proponent online about how you should use discount gift cards. Now, a lot of people in the UK use them. They never did before, but SellerSmart as a company, we really pushed that idea in the UK. It's always been a thing in the US. But I used to buy stuff from Currys with a 12% discount gift card. I'd have no competition because no one else was finding those leads because it wasn't profitable unless you had them. That's kind of where Amazon becomes really interesting. When you can find stuff that other people can't find, and when you get to a point like Sam, where you have enough cash flow and volume that you can buy lots and lots and lots of stock, it gets really interesting. And all of that comes from compound returns. All of that comes from making profit, reinvesting, making profit, reinvesting, and just being consistent.
So Stone's saying, how do I get more reviews? Sell more products, to be honest. The more units that you sell, the more likely you're going to get a review. You can use review request tools. SellerSmart has got one built in the software. There are others available like SageMailer, that sort of thing. I think a lot of the analytics softwares which are out, like Sellerfuse, SGK, all that sort of stuff, I think they all have them in there as well. Amazon stopped allowing people to use custom templates for reviews, which I think has made a massive difference. That's definitely cut out a lot of the reviews. But yeah, it's a case of just the more you sell, the more reviews you're going to get, and then just use a tool which is going to request buyers to leave you a review. I think it's the only way, really.
Yeah, and I think worrying about reviews in the arbitrage space is something beginners do. Everyone worries about getting reviews, but you realize the more experience you get, you just don't really pay attention to it. You only pay attention to the negatives because it's not something you can control. It's one of the things as a business owner that you want to adapt the mindset to have is you want to focus on the things you can control, not the things you can't. So as long as you've got an automated review request with Amazon compliant reviews, that's all you can do. The next thing you can do is make sales. How do you make sales? You spend enough cash on good stock. You get it into Amazon as quickly as you can. Products will go live. You do good deal analysis, and that inevitably will lead to more reviews because you're making more sales. It's always a really good idea to focus on the things that you can control. So, like if I say I want to make 10K this month, that's a little bit arbitrary. You can't really have a control over that. What you can do is you can spend a certain amount of hours improving your skills. You can spend a certain amount of hours buying products. You can invest in your systems. You can build your systems and tools. If you focus on those things that are controllable, you will find the outcomes improve over time. I put my studio lights on because I realized they were off, and they've just increased the temperature in the room by about 2 degrees.
Luckily, I'm in the coldest room in the house, but it's still very hot in there.
It's 1 o'clock. It's pretty dead on my side on TikTok. I'm very quiet today, but that's okay.
I think it's because the sun's out, mate. Like if people on their lunch breaks or whatever, they probably don't want to be sat listening to us. They want to be outside going for a walk and making the most of the sun, I would have thought.
Yeah, that's fair. Gear, can you sell items from liquidation stores on Amazon, new undamaged items? I suppose they don't provide invoices. It depends, doesn't it? It depends on the product. I probably wouldn't sell new products that I bought from liquidation. And I know you can buy used books without Amazon asking for invoices a lot, so I've heard. That's kind of tricky. For me personally, I would sell liquidation stuff on eBay rather than Amazon. I don't know. I would say probably be careful with that. What would you say, Sam?
Yeah, you want to be careful. I think it comes down to how it comes on the invoice, I would have thought, because ideally having a legit, decent invoice is pretty key with Amazon. You need to be able to provide some form of authentication or something which, if Amazon ask, then yeah, you need to have that really there. And I think with liquidation, I don't know, if you're buying, I don't know, a pallet of around a load of products sort of chucked on a pallet, like the invoice is not really going to list out what every single product is on there. It's probably just going to say 1 times pallet of liquidated stock. And if you send that to Amazon to then clear an IP or missing stock or something like that, the chance of them accepting that is going to be slim to none. So I think that is more what you want to be worried about, to be honest with you. And I guess there's no supply chain info there, right? Although this liquidator has got this stock, they don't know if the stock's legit or not. Like they're not going to be authenticating whatever the stock is. And the supply chain stops there. You don't know where the stuff was actually bought from. So yeah, that could cause you issues on Amazon. So I'll probably avoid going through all that. I think, yeah, as Sean said, stick to Vinted, eBay, that sort of thing.
Yeah, the biggest thing you need to be aware of with Amazon these days is that Amazon are pretty obsessed with figuring out supply chain. They say it's because they want to make sure the products being sold are authentic. It could also be that they want to collect all the suppliers they can so they can be the brand direct relationship in the long run. Who knows? That's a bit conspiratorial. But if you're buying from a liquidation store, how is Amazon going to validate where that supply got the stock from? They just don't know. So it's really, really tricky. And you want to be careful as well, because liquidation is often going to be, it could potentially be broken and damaged stock, which you don't want to sell to customers because it's going to eat into your wallet and it will probably cause some negative reviews, which you can get struck through your account, but they're still going to hurt your sales on the day that you get them. Yeah,
exactly that.
Sam, I've given this 1,001 times. Do you want to give us a breakdown of how the buy box works?
Yep. So I was just checking something. So the buy box. So I can't remember the exact stat. Something like, is it like 80% or 85, 90% of all sales on Amazon go through the buy box? So in order to get a sale, you need to be on the buy box. The buy box works in a lot of mysterious ways, which no one really knows, only Amazon, and it's not something they share. What we do know, though, there's obviously multiple factors which make a difference when you are which make a difference in terms of how to get the buy box and how long you have the buy box for. So you've got your store reviews and store feedback. Like that is why a lot of new sellers are so keen to get so many reviews, like we were just talking about. Ideally, the more reviews and more feedback you have, the more trusted you are in Amazon's eyes, and the more they're going to be wanting to share the buy box with you. So that is why when we say, like, if you're going to join a listing, you're a brand new seller, there's 2 other sellers on the listing, they've both got thousands and thousands of reviews. The chance of you getting the buy box is going to be very, very low. You will get it, but it's going to be very low compared to the other 2 sellers. So you got store reviews. You then got your price. I think price is obviously one of the main ones. You need to be competitive. If you're not competitive, you're not going to win the buy box. It's not saying be the cheapest one on there, but you want to be at least matching the cheapest. You got fulfillment method. So whether it's FBA, FBM, or SFP. FBA, for those that know, is when you're sending it into Amazon and they can list it as Prime. FBM is when you're doing more of the eBay method. You have the products on yourself or a warehouse or something like that. And then you then fulfill it yourself. The delivery times are obviously a lot faster with FBA, so they do get preferential treatment for the most part, and that is why you find a lot of FBM sellers priced slightly below the buy box. And then you've got SFP. So that is where usually a wholesaler has the stock on them, like the FBM method, but they have the ability to ship the products out next day and meet and match Amazon's Prime criteria. So they're going to be kind of in the same sort of ballpark as FBA, to be honest with you. Sometimes with FBM, you have to drop your price a little bit lower than the FBA price in order to win the buy box. Amazon are being a lot more fairer with FBM sellers, and they are giving a better price of the buy box despite what their price is. So yeah, fulfillment method, price, customer reviews, your overall stock count. So if you've got, I don't know, 1,000 units in stock versus someone who's got 1 unit in stock, then they're going to prefer the 1,000 units. And that's it, I think. There's a lot more that goes into it, but they're like the main things. They also check your customer service history, how good you are at responding to customers. If you've got your account health score, your IPI score, what else? Like your invoice defect rate, if you've got any account health issues, IPs, anything like that. Like what you'll notice is if you get like an inauthentic IP complaint or any type of IP complaint, your sales do generally take a hit for like a week after. And it's kind of like Amazon punishing you on the buy box just to put you on the naughty step just because you got hit with an IP. But I think that's kind of everything, isn't it? Was you anything I missed, Sean?
I don't think so. I think that's everything. Just know that when you're a new seller, you're probably not going to get as much buy box time as someone who has a bit more experience. Sam covered that. Where your stock is geographically located at a fulfillment center is going to have an effect, but the UK is pretty small, so it's not as big an influence as it is in the US. But it does definitely influence. Yeah, I think you covered it perfectly. Elliot, yeah, go for it.
Elliot Bryce has said on for returns, Sam, do you claim on most of them, as I do about 2K a month just from reimbursements? So I claim on everything I can claim on. Yeah, so pretty much I do. I think that is a huge I guess issue in the Amazon space. A lot of people just don't, and they have so much leakage in the business. But yeah, you want to claim every single time you can, or you want to claim some sort of reimbursement, whether it's for missing or lost stock, whether it's for customer returns, which have been wrongly returned, or they've been damaged for whatever reason, or they're missing certain components, or anything. If you can return them to a retailer, you want to have a look at that. So yeah, there's lots of ways to claim reimbursements for stock, but yeah, you want to stay on top of all it. I think if you do 2K a month from reimbursements is like absolutely massive. So that's it's great that you're on top of that.
Yeah, I would say Elliot, well done for being on top of it. Most people are not. 99% of people that we talk to have no idea what their leakage is. So you just said you're doing 2K a month from reimbursements. Imagine people who don't pay attention to that at all. They're losing so much money. To a degree where we know someone who's a very big seller, put a lot of money into Amazon in their first year, thought they ended the year on a really big profit, and it turns out they'd lost quite a lot of money because they never once handled a return lost product or reimbursement, like not a single one for an entire year. They only realized that at the end of the year talking to their accountant. So you really do have to take it seriously. Whilst this is a side hustle, you do have to treat it like a proper business. And, that's why we're here. It's complicated, it's convoluted. There's a lot of systems you have to have, but that's why Seller Smart can help you figure out the nitty gritty bits of Amazon.
So we got someone who's spamming my TikTok. He said his name's Tarmo. He said, "Sad men, you make no money on this, by the way, and you know it. Horrible, so sad. Reported to TikTok. Dude makes nothing and comes to TikTok lives instead of working. Great life."
It's funny how people on the internet make so many assumptions, don't they?
Oh, they always do. Everyone's so, I guess I'm not the best for it, but everyone's so pessimistic. And I think it's like a very English mentality as well. No one wants people to be successful and do well. They'll always throw like a downer on it and try and make out like it's a scam or it's fake or whatever it is, just to make themselves feel better. It's a very like lefty mindset as well, I think.
It's a tall poppy syndrome of the UK, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
What was it? I think it was Gandhi said, first they laughed at me, then they ignored me, then they fought me, then they accepted me, or then I won, something like that. That's how the crowd usually responds to people saying stuff that they don't like.
Yeah, pretty much. Sounds about right.
Thrive Nation, do you guys do Amazon wholesale? Or I just realized I compared Gandhi to Amazon. What a douche! That was not my intention. I just really like the line. Thrive Nation, do you guys do Amazon wholesale or private labels? So we do OA, A to A, EU A to A, and wholesale. Kind of lump them all as the same thing. We don't do private label, but Sam has been slowly getting ready to test his private label over the last 12 months, but it's been a disaster. I'll let you go into that.
Yeah, it's been pretty horrific. I found a product. I managed to get an order through the supplier, and then I just start a document. Cool. So I then got the products sent over to me. I then tried to get the list. Got most of the listing created. I then had to. I think the day it came, the listing came live. Amazon shut it down straight away. They sent me a request for a load of documents. The manufacturer wouldn't provide me the documents, but they said they all meet their certifications. I said, okay, well, it's great if they do. Then you can send me the documents. And I'm like, no, we're not sending the documents. Oh, brilliant. So I've had to spend up another $2,000 on getting a company to certify the products and make sure they are what they say they are. And then I finally got the what are you missing here? And then I finally documents approved. Well, one of the documents approved. One of them failed, so that was great. So I've been going backwards and forwards for the last 6 months with the manufacturer and the testing company. And now the testing company are going to finally approve the documents, get them sent over to me, which I'm hoping is going to be this week, but they're being a pain in the ass to deal with. It takes weeks and weeks to get anything from them. So hopefully, this week they can send me the approval, and then I can then send that to Amazon and get the listing stated, and then send the products in. And then that's when the fun starts, and I have to try and navigate my way around PPC and everything like that. But it's been a slog. Hopefully, near the end of it. Whether it does any well, I don't know. Knowing my luck, because of the amount of time I've been going through everything, it is probably going to be an absolute flop. But we'll see. You learn a lot on your first private label product. That is for sure.
Elliot said, thanks, guys. I think I need to utilize the warranty more than return to suppliers, etc., as there's probs leakage there. Yeah, to be honest, I'm guilty of that as well. I wasn't doing that for the first 2 years. But the reality is, if the product is broken, you can return it. We do forget that in the arbitrage space, and I don't see that as unethical. I think buying products to return them to use as ungates, that's darker waters. But if the product you bought is broken, then you absolutely can return it for sure.
Yeah, I think, the warranty, I do a few warranty bits, but I don't know. It depends who really. There's certain retailers are a bit easier to do. There's other retailers who are just a pain in the arse, so just don't even bother. In terms of returns, I return a lot, but mostly to Amazon. I don't really return anything to anyone else. Otherwise, it's all just going on eBay or Vinted or something like that. But yeah, you should definitely make sure you've got that locked down, because you can stop a lot of leakage just by doing the warranty and returns.
Thrive Nation said, I wish you all the best of luck with that regarding your private label one. What's your product? Stay optimistic. Do you want to say what your product is, or just say the rough idea of it?
No, I'm not telling anyone what the product is.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
You did someone ask? Sorry, I was looking at your comment. You said, did someone ask what the product was?
Yeah, Thrive said, I wish you the best of luck. What's the product? Stay optimistic.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. But yeah, no, I won't be revealing what the product is, unfortunately. Maybe if it all goes amazingly. Actually, even if it all goes amazingly, I'm probably not going to tell people. The reason for that is, although a lot of people know my storefront anyway, but if as soon as I tell what the product is, everyone knows my storefront, and then it's just it just doesn't really put me in a great position in terms of storefront stalking and all of that. So yeah, unfortunately, I'll be kept under wraps.
So it's a beginner thing, isn't it? Beginners always come on here and say, "Hey, can I have your wholesale suppliers?" And anyone with a little bit of experience is like, "Why? Why would anyone give that information up?" No.
I guess like you don't know what you don't know, right? Like,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's obviously never going to happen. It takes so long to build up decent supplier lists. No one's just going to give them out to some random guy who's just started and wants them.
Joe Roberts, welcome to the live, mate. How do I send a dangerous goods parcel? I'm trying to create a shipment on UPS website, but it won't register Amazon's address. Did I read that right? How do I send a D&G? Dangerous and goods. Dangerous goods. Yeah, so what you're talking about, what I think you're talking about is when you're scheduling a shipment, you're not able to send dangerous goods in with the rest of your stock. So this is a really common pitfall that even experienced people forget. When you're sending in stock, you always need to make sure the product is not dangerous goods or is dangerous goods. If you are sending in dangerous goods, you need to make sure that the box of shipment is full, because otherwise the cost of the shipment is going to eat into the profits. So UPS partner carrier service is not for dangerous goods. You can use other services and tools, and then you have to update Amazon with the tracking and references and stuff. What dangerous goods supplier do you use currently, Sam? I suppose your prep center, I should say.
Yeah, prep center does it all. So, to be honest, the prep center, if it's dangerous goods, they do direct to fulfillment center.
Right.
So they'll package it off and then drop it themselves in a van to the fulfillment center. So I don't really use one. I'm not sure who they used before. I don't really know, to be honest. Like when I've used them before, I've generally gone with UPS just because it's a bit easier. But I think if you can use UPS. You use like a comparison website as well. Like you've got Parcel to Go, you've got Packlink Pro.
Packlink.
Yeah, Packlink Pro is the best, I think. Parcel to Go, Parcel Monkey. I think Parcel Monkey, is it? Parcel Hero or something. But there's loads of different ones you can use, which will get you the best price. And they should recognise Amazon's address. I've never had that issue.
Trying to do it non-partnered, he said. Yeah, to be honest with you, we have a prep center. I've used a prep center for a long time, so I haven't actually scheduled a dangerous goods shipment in a long time. Let me just, I'll message Cal in our prep center and I'll ask what they usually go with. Okay, I've asked our prep center which ones we usually go for. I'll let you know what they say when they reply shortly. It might be a silly question, but what exactly is storefront stalking? Is it people stalking your Amazon store, then buying the same products? Exactly that, mate. So storefront stalking is actually one of the things that we say to do first when you're learning. So if you go to SellerAmp SaaS and you find arbitrage products, you know they're arbitrageable because you can go through the keeper history and you can see the seller count going in and out. Go to the sellers on the listing. If they have fewer than 400 reviews, click on their storefront, get their seller ID, and go into SellerAmp SaaS. You can go through all the products they sell. You can go through brand by brand what they sell, and it's a really good way to source and find products. What you need to be careful of, storefront sourcing, you're always going to be behind someone who's finding the lead first. Amazon is a game of speed. If you can be the first one to the lead, you usually can capitalize more than people who storefront stalk. Because if you think, if I find a lead on Notino or Currys or John Lewis, wherever, if I find the lead, the day one the offer's been on, I send it into Amazon. It might take me 1 or 2 days to get the stock. It then might take 5 to 7 days for it to go live. I'm then going to be making sales. At that point, if someone is storefront stalking my store, they'll get a ping that I've sent new stock in when it goes live. But by that point, I've already bought it a week ago. So I'm a week ahead. So storefront stalking is good, and it gives you a really good indication of what people are buying in terms of brands. And then you have to figure out where they're buying them from. But it's not the be all and end all in terms of the only strategy. Combining storefront stalking with other things and having a list of seller IDs that you stalk is a pretty good strategy to follow. Email newsletter sourcing is amazing. Manual sourcing from retailers that you like can be good. And then Keeper for Amazon to Amazon. Those are really good strategies for most beginners to start with. always a good idea to focus on one or two methods. Don't try to learn every single method, because you're going to get nowhere. Just learn one or two and double down on the one that works for you.
Yeah, and I think with storefront stalking, like, it's a bad rap. I think it is very good when you're first starting out, just because it opens your eyes up to what sort of products people are selling on Amazon, and also opens your eyes up to a lot of different retailers which you may not have found before. So I think from that point of view, it's good because it gives you that sort of knowledge on where to look and what people are selling. So I think, yeah, it definitely helps from that point of view. But yeah, I agree with everything Sean said. Tamo's gone, which is a shame.
Your hater's gone.
Yeah, unfortunately. Brockwell, how you doing, mate? Good to see you on here.
Rockwell, haven't seen your name for a while. Glenn Lacey as well. I saw you in here. Mick, how you doing, mate? How's your day going?
He's put a smiley face and said Starmer is out now, so he must be happy.
Kingsley and Halima as well. Welcome to live. Thank you for joining. Thrive Nation said, "What's your auto ungator tool?" So in the wholesale arbitrage Amazon to Amazon space, by far the biggest pain point, the biggest hurdle that people have to overcome is being restricted in lots and lots of brands. We are the first company in the world to build a tool, auto ungator tool, that will compare 10,000 brands, will go through your individual storefront, your individual Amazon store, and it will validate, it will cross-reference the brands to your store, and it will automatically ungate the brands that you are eligible for. So for me, when it was 5,500 brands that we were comparing, I got ungated in 1,500 brands. Sam got ungated in about 1,500 brands. Someone in our mentorship got ungated in 4,000. Someone in our live yesterday while we were live, they were brand new. They've never sold a product. They got 434 products. It's different for everyone, and it's different depending on your metrics as a seller. It is very, very powerful. The more brands you have ungated, the more options you have to sell. The more brands you have ungated, the easier it is to get unlocked in other brands. Yesterday in our live call, we had someone saying that they've been trying Amazon for 2 months. They were not getting any luck getting ungated in any brands. They used our tool. They got over 500 ungates, I think it was. And then every ungate they attempted to do after that was a one shot. Every ungate they went for, they got ungated straight away. So it's a very valuable tool, definitely worth it. It's a one-off payment of $69.99, but you can choose to subscribe and get scans every month. The more ungated you are in brands, the more seller metrics you have, the more you will become ungated in more brands. And we're constantly adding brands into the list. So very valuable tool. Definitely recommend giving it a go. I promise you it will absolutely help you with the ungating issues in the beginning of selling on Amazon. Thrive, you said, how can I sign up for it? In the link in our bio, you're watching on TikTok. In the link in our bio, we have a link tree. If you go into our link tree, it's the top link on there. It will take you to the landing page for the auto ungator tool, and you can get it there. Mick, I've just bought the ungating tool. Awesome. Good job. Thank you very much. I know we were talking about that the other day and you were interested. I'm very keen to see how many brands it unlocks for you. So everyone that's interested, if you use the auto ungator tool, you can export a CSV, so an Excel sheet. You can export one and it will tell you how it's performed. And you have a button that you click the button and it will go to your Amazon it will go to your Amazon applications page and you can see how many ungates it's done for you. If it does less than 150, we'll give you a refund. We had to give that refund once because we had a bug on the back end of our system. We fixed the bug. We added more ASINs. We've been given no refund since then. So far, it's 361 and it's below halfway through. There you go. Glowing recommendation right there. So Mick is a brand new seller. Mick, can you correct me if I'm wrong? You haven't sold any products yet, right? So 368 now. So Mick has 368 brand ungates. What you'll find before this tool, you might be spending 4 or 5 days trying to get one brand ungated. 4 or 5 days trying to get one brand. And in minutes, you can get up to thousands. Someone earlier today got 7,000 brands unlocked in like 5 minutes. It is absolutely mind-blowing. It's Amazon compliant. We don't break any rules. We're not breaking any terms of service, so your store is safe. and it's a game changer in the arbitrage world.
That's something as well we focus on massively. Like everything we do is Amazon compliant, it's not breaking any Amazon rules, and it's nothing like that. You can't say that about a lot of other people in the space. We would never do anything which will harm your Amazon account, will put you at risk or anything like that. Everything we do is fully above board, legitimate. And yeah, it's like I said, not breaking any Amazon T's and C's. So just make sure you know that if you're dealing with us on anything, it is all going to be fully legit.
Mix just started sourcing. Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully the Ungator, not hopefully, the Ungator will absolutely help. It will help get you started. And if anyone is interested, the ungating tool is just one thing that we offer. We have mentoring that is mind-blowingly good, really, really good. Very good results with everyone in our mentorship. The software that we have, anyone who's in our mentorship gets access to the Ungator and the software for free whilst it's being developed. The ungating tool, which is game-changing in Amazon, is one feature of many in our software. Our software has so many. And the community members in our mentorship who've been using it say it's going to be completely game-changing. So if anyone wants to work one-to-one with us or in our group coaching, just let us know. That is an amazing element of what we do. Our software is very exciting. We've got a prep center, virtual assistant recruitment, and account recovery expert if you have issues with your account. And we mentioned this earlier, but if you ever have issues with your account, do not stress. You can always get it back. It's really common in the beginner phase that when anything happens, people get really, really stressed. Eventually, you become numb to it. You develop a really thick skin in this game because Amazon just constantly throws problems your way, and you get really good at being like, bam, bam, batting away the problems left, right, and center. You become a really good problem solver, which is a very valuable skill in life, not just in Amazon, to develop.
Agreed.
Mix just said it's now 392 brands. So I'm going to enjoy watching this counter increase. That's really fun. Instagram always disconnects for you, but it never does for me. That's really odd.
Is it gone, is it?
Yeah, it's just gone on your side.
I've had about 4 views the whole time it's been live anyway.
Yeah, to be fair, Instagram is always dead for me. Guys, if you get any value from this, Sam and I are going to be live for about 2 hours today. I have a target of how many hours of live I want to hit per month, which is 30. I want to aim for 30 hours of live a month. I've got a very pregnant missus who is having a very rough third trimester. I've had loads of things that have interrupted that this month. So until the end of the month, I'm going to be going live 2 hours a day. If you get any value from this, give us a follow, tap the like button, join our free Discord community. If you want to drop us a message or work with us, just let us know. And keep sending your questions. As I say, we're going to be live for another 57 minutes. So ask away if you have any questions. In the meantime, I'll jump to my talking points.
Terry Tibbs has said he got 8,000 last night, which is mental. Absolutely mental.
So Terry is in our mentorship. He gets free access to the auto ungate tool. He just said he got 8,000 brand ungates. Terry, you legend. That's amazing. Sam, can you screenshot that message and put it in our chat for it? Mix just said 418 exclamation marks halfway through the scan. This is really fun. I'm really glad you're doing this live.
It should hit, hopefully it should go above 1,000, right?
Yeah, Mick, for you, it sounds like you're gonna get over 1,000, which is really wild because some beginners, they only get 300 to 400. You see how arbitrary Amazon is. It's really not. It's not a cookie cut approach to everyone. Everyone is different, which is why when people say Amazon doesn't work, it's like, mate, Amazon didn't work for you. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. It does. You just didn't. You weren't able to figure it out, and that's okay. That's okay. How should I get started in the US? I see y'all are UK. Are you based in the US? Because if you are, that's going to change my answer. If you're based in the UK, selling in the US for you, you're going to have to start with a lot of cash. We know UK-based sellers who sell in the US, and they say you need to start with £20,000 to £35,000. Yes, you're living in the States. In that case, what you want to do is you want to register a company, whatever you want to do. Some people go sole proprietor, other people go LLC, and you want to go into the arbitrage game. even retail arbitrage if you're willing to drive to physical store locations. Retail arbitrage is a really big game in the US. It's not as big in the UK, but online arbitrage is incredible. Definitely give it a go. Have a chat with us. Schedule a call. We're getting more Americans on this live, and Amazon. The fundamentals of Amazon remain the same. So our market in the UK might be different, but what we teach you is directly applicable in the US. So if you want to schedule a call and have a chat with us, just let us know. Mick, why do you need that much for the US? Really good question. So if you're a UK seller who wants to sell in the US, not only do you have to set up a business, which costs money, you have to set up a business through something like firstbase.io. You then have to pay for lawyers, very expensive in the US. You have to pay for insurance. No offense to SH1 box. Americans are a lot more litigious than people in the UK. You have to have insurance just in case of lawsuits. You have to pay for prep. Prep used to be $1.50 per product in the US. In the UK, it's 45 to 35p, however many units you sell. It's gotten a lot more expensive. Shipping in the US, a lot more expensive. Amazon fees, everything is more expensive, but the returns you can make and the sales velocity is higher. America is the land of capitalism. America has the largest Amazon marketplace in the world. It is a thing of beauty. You get many, many listings that sell 10 to 30,000 times a month. It's just absolutely absurd. You don't come across that in the UK nearly as often, but the cost is so much more. So say you're looking for an average return on investment in the UK of about 30%. In the US, you might be aiming for 40 to 45% return on investment, but then you have to factor into your margin that everything costs more and everything takes longer. So I can get my stock live in Amazon's fulfillment centers in the UK within 5 days. In the US, that might take 5 weeks. Not all the time 5 weeks, but those are the differences with the market. Sam had a terrible time trying to sell in the US, so I'll let you share your experience there.
Yeah, US was just quite long compared to the UK. Everything took so much longer. Even like buying the products, getting them delivered, that was long. And then the prep was long. Prep was expensive. I had a few issues with a couple of different prep centers I used. And then inbound just took forever. There was certain times where it took like 8 weeks for products to even become available. And in that sort of time, the listing changes dramatically. And then because I was doing wholesale, which is competing with massive wholesalers, which again, they were nowhere to be found. So I used to do like test units, test orders, used to buy like 10, 20 units. They used to go really well. And then I'd then go deep and buy, I don't know, 100,000, whatever it was. And then as soon as the large order got sent into Amazon, then that was when the biggest wholesaler I've ever seen in my life with about 2 million reviews come on the listing and just destroyed it. And then I was just left with a load of dead stock. And it happened time and time again. So I just gave up and just went back to the UK. I don't really give it much attention, to be honest with you. I think I was just spreading my eggs too thin. And I wanted to just focus on the UK was going well and doing good. So I might as well just focus on that and grow that really.
Yeah. How do I say your name on TikTok without getting banned? SH1 box. I'm just going to keep saying that. So that means I go to the store and I find products and try to buy in bulk and then ship to 1 to 2 Amazon and they fulfill it. So Amazon FBA is you buy the physical stock, but Amazon's fulfillment center will sell it for you. So they'll send it to the customer. They'll deal with your returns. They'll deal with your customer complaints. What you were talking about going to the store, that's called retail arbitrage. What we primarily do is online arbitrage. So that's going to online retailers buying. You never have to go to the physical store. And yeah, you can invest some money. You don't have to buy in bulk. Obviously, with arbitrage, you're probably not going to be able to buy in bulk from retailers in comparison to wholesale where you can. You're just buying as many as you can. You're sending in based on the listing. So every listing has a different sales per month. If one listing has 30 sales per month, I'm not going to buy that much in comparison to another listing that sells 1,000 times, because obviously the other listing has more sales. So you have to analyze each listing individually, and then you have to make your purchase decisions based on the data that you see. And how do I find products that I would then go back for and are still making a profit. So that's called replenishables. 95% of the products that we resell are new leads that we find. There's always leads on offer. In the wholesale space, in the private label space, that's focused a lot more on replenishables. But even in the wholesale space, it's becoming a lot more competitive with bigger sellers, like Sam said. So you can have systems that focus on your replens. We have a software that does ours. Our software has something called Replen Smart. So it will tell you when is the right time to buy replens. And eventually it's going to integrate with wholesalers or with retailers, and it will say, hey, you need to replen this product and you can buy it from this place at this price. That's going to be the long-term plan of what our software is going to have. It's exactly what you think it is. Yeah. The thing is, SH1 box, if I say that, TikTok doesn't like you swearing. So I can't, unfortunately, I can't give you the respect that you deserve and call you by your entitled name. Your titled name, I should say, because I don't want to get banned by TikTok. TikTok is weirdly censorial when it comes to bad language, which is interesting because it's Chinese, isn't it? I wonder why that is. Mick Fry, retail can be good if you want to physically get out of the house for a couple of hours a day to change it up. 100%. So someone in our mentorship travels a lot for work. They've done really, really well with retail arbitrage because when they travel for work, they go and stay in random hotels in the country. And en route, whilst they're traveling, they just go to, they find really good retail arbitrage leads. They go to the stores on the way. They pack them and prep them at the hotel they're at, get UPS to pick them up, and they do really well with retail arbitrage. So that's a really good way to do it. What Mick just said there is there's an underlining thing that's so true with entrepreneurship and growing a business, growing an Amazon. I am indoors all day. All I do is be a goblin in this office, work. I don't socialize. I've become very sad, proper goblin. Getting out of the house, doing retail arbitrage a couple of hours a day, really good way to mix it up and get out of the house. The missus and we went to the pub yesterday just for a drink, and I was like, oh my God, I haven't been outside in so long. It's properly sad. I just go to the gym and work.
Did you drink a water? What'd you get?
Soda water.
Soda water. God, you might as well just stay at home, mate.
Yeah, soda water with a slice of lime. That's my jam.
Yeah.
Mick, 474 on gates so far. Amazing. Very cool. SH1 box. It's all good, mate. Lol, it's a bit anyways. Yeah. How would I find a place online that sells wholesale like you're saying? I know getting started one to two. Do you mean you're getting started with $1,000 to $2,000? Is that what you mean? If it is what you mean, wholesale is not the way to go for you. You need a lot more money with wholesale. So in the UK, we say if you're going to start wholesale, you need 15 to 20 grand. In the US, I would say probably it's about the same. Online arbitrage is the better option for you. So that would be going to online retailers. So a lot of people use Walmart. What are the other big ones? Target. These big retailers, just try to find leads there. Just bear in mind that it is very competitive. So the easier it is for you to find a lead, it means other people are probably going to find it too. You just said I should probably get from retail to start, but for wholesale eventually. I just use 1 to 2 since your character limited for typing. My bad. No problem at all. Yeah, exactly what you just said. Starting with online arbitrage is a better way to go, or even retail arbitrage. I don't think you can start with wholesale at $2,000 in the US. It's just not enough money. Even if you find a lead, other people can buy it way cheaper than you because they have way more capital. So start with online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, and yeah, it's you're bless you. Bless you. You're going to have fun, mate. Bless you. Arbitrage in the US is really wild. You can get some really good profits there. So if you're living in the US and selling in the US, you can do really well. When you say lead, what are you meaning by that? So I go onto Walmart. I go onto Argos, whichever country you're from. I use Keeper and I use SellerAmp SaaS. Those are the two tools you need for both US and the UK. You only need Keeper and SellerAmp SaaS. You're going to go through the retailer until you find a product that is profitable to sell. That is a lead. So if I find an HP printer, I can buy it for £100 and it sells on Amazon for 200. That's a lead. I would export that lead from SaaS into my purchasing sheet. And from there, I would make my purchases after I've done a bout of sourcing. So I might sit down for 2 hours to source. I might sit down for 4 hours, 8 hours to source. At the end of the day, or at the end of my sourcing, then I would do my purchasing. Typically, I don't do my purchasing at the same time as sourcing unless I think the lead is a timed lead. In that case, if I think the product is going to go if I think the product is going to come off the sale, then you have to buy it quickly, otherwise you'll lose it. Everyone does it differently. If you use virtual assistants, they'll send you leads and then you decide when to buy them. Giet said, what about starting at A-to-A? Yeah, A-to-A is really good. Amazon to Amazon is really good. For you, SH1 box, Amazon to Amazon is really, really slept on in the US. People don't do it. They should. It's huge. We know some sellers in the UK who do really well with Amazon to Amazon in the US. The thing is, with Amazon to Amazon, you do need a bit more capital again. So if you guys are based in the UK, I wouldn't start A-to-A unless I had a bit more than two to 3 grand, I would say, because you need to hold the stock sometimes for 2 to 3 months. And in that period, you want to be buying other stock. If you've tied up all your capital for 2 to 3 months, it's not going to help you grow. So even though we have Prime Day tomorrow, Prime Day is the 23rd. If you don't have that much cash, I wouldn't go too heavy on Prime Day deals. I would go maybe 50-50, depending on how much money you have with online arbitrage. I see. So it's researching for finding the items that you can buy for less and sell for more. 100%. You're buying low and you're reselling high. It can be anything. Don't niche down. In the arbitrage niche, in the arbitrage space, we don't niche down. You buy anything and everything. I know in the US, sneakers are a really big thing. People don't really do that in the UK. Lots of different ways you can do it. I would say for you, look for 40% ROI products, probably set up your business in a tax-free state. I know Delaware is one that a lot of people choose. But obviously, this is not financial advice. Do your own research. Talk to an accountant or a company like First Base. And yeah, give it a bash. It's well worth it, but it's not for everyone. But it is well worth it. At least trying, I mean. Anything you would add to all that, Sam?
No, I'm not going to lie. I didn't listen to loads of that.
No, that's
I think someone's has to about something, so I was trying to concentrate on that. But I think I got the gist of most of it, and to be honest, I think you're pretty spot on with most of that, mate.
Mick said, do you do your own sourcing or still just VAs? I'll let you answer that one because I just spoke for a bunch of time.
So I occasionally like if it's like some sort of event or something on, then I'll source. Obviously Prime Day tonight or tomorrow, I'll be sourcing for that. If my VA is off because they're sick on holiday or whatever, then I'll source while they're away. If it's Black Friday, Christmas, Q4, that sort of thing, then I will source. But generally on like a day-to-day basis, I don't really, just because I don't need to. My VAs can do it, so that's fine. And then I'll just leave it in their hands, to be honest with you. So yeah, yes and no, but not like on a day-to-day.
Yeah, Mick. So to give you an idea of how the business model scales, I know you and I have spoken before, but in the beginning phase, you're going to be learning, throwing as much time into it as you can. As you scale the business, the way you buy your time back is with a prep center with a virtual assistant. So Sam and myself, you work on Amazon 10 to 15 hours a week, but that's only because we have a prep center. That's only because we have virtual assistants. We have systems. We have software that reduces all the hours. We have all of that. That doesn't come on day one. You have to put the time in and the work in first. And the more skilled you get at the business model, the better you are at delegating and outsourcing. But you, at the end of the day, you still have to be a manager for someone. You have to be a manager for your VA. You can't just let them have free reign and go nuts. You have to keep on top of them. You have to keep on top of your prep center and make sure that your stock is going out when it should be. If you're using a good prep center, you need to do less of that. But it all comes with time. You know, a lot of people rush it and want to dive headfirst into a VA and a prep center straight away. But you need to be making enough profit to justify the costs. Otherwise, you're just a hamster that spinning in the wheel. You're not actually making profit and growing. And you can't, you're never going to get to 2 million a year like Sam if you're just spinning the wheel and not reinvesting the profits and growing.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that's the most important thing, is especially for the first year, just reinvest absolutely everything. It'll make such a huge difference.
How do I win the buy box since Amazon uses listings? Yeah, Amazon is on a lot of listings these days. It's absolutely fine. You can sell on listings with Amazon. Legally, they are not allowed to dominate the buy box over other sellers permanently anymore. They used to do that. You just have to learn how to analyze Keeper and Seller Amp SaaS. But you win the buy box by having your stock geographically located near a customer, having good reviews on your account, not having any compliance violations, having a good account health, having a good IPI score, inventory performance index score. All of these things affect your time in the buy box. And you just have to match buy box price. You don't have to be the cheapest price on the listing. If anything, that's a bad thing. Be the buy box price and be patient, and you'll get your time as long as you've analyzed the listing properly. If you're going to compete against another seller that's on there that has 50,000 reviews whilst you have none, and they have 5,000 units in stock and you only have 5, they're going to win the buy box a lot more than you because they're a much bigger seller with much more stock. But that's where analysis on the listings come in. You don't have to avoid listings with Amazon on them. You can sell them. That's fine. You do have to avoid listings that issue IP violations, intellectual property violations. You do have to avoid listings that are private label. You can't sell other people's private label listings, which means no buying from China. We're talking about arbitrage, which is buying from major retailers. You're from Florida. Florida is the only state in the US I've ever been to. When I was 16 years old for my birthday, and it was awesome. Absolutely wild place. Thrive Nation. The problem with A2A, a lot of them require approval to sell, which means you then need a distributor to get approval to sell or a solid wholesale. Thrive Nation, that's not quite accurate. Most products require invoices to sell these days. That's called gating, being restricted. And you can ungate with retail invoices. Retail invoices are much better for ungating than most wholesalers, because a lot of wholesalers, Amazon requests supply chain information and the wholesalers don't want to provide it. Whereas Amazon know for a fact that major retailers are buying authentic stock. So major retailer invoices, most of them will be a much better invoice for you to sell. You are right, though. You can't use Amazon to Amazon invoices for ungating. You used to be able to. You can't anymore. But you can just buy a retail invoice to get it ungated. That's how the partnership works. If you find a really good A2A lead, find the cheapest product in that brand, buy it from a major retailer, ungate it really cheaply, and then sell the product that you wanted to sell. EM, if I send the product Delaware, will I still be charged exorbitant, or am I looking to sell private label? That is a very up and down question. But what I was saying about Delaware, in America, if you're going to register a business, you may as well register it in a tax-free state. Delaware is a tax-free state. SH1T, can you tell me, is Florida a tax-free state as well? I think it might be, right? But you only register your business. You don't send your stock to Delaware unless you have a prep center in Delaware as well. But yeah, I think you might have misunderstood what I meant there. Private label, you said, should I sell private label? That isn't what we do. Sam is testing a private label product right now, and it's been a bit of a disaster so far. We do arbitrage, wholesale, Amazon to Amazon. It's an entirely different model on Amazon. We know too many people losing money from private label, and it's an entirely different thing. You have to learn to be a marketer. You have to build your own listings. You have to pay for advertising, which you don't have to do in arbitrage. It's just an entirely different ballgame. Okay, I'm getting a few questions. So, Sam, I'm going to throw them at you so you don't get bored.
Go on then.
Right, so I do Amazon affiliate. I build a website for I finished the website. Day 2. I do Amazon affiliate. I build a website on my machine, very powerful. I finish the website, but on 2 days, it starts work. My SEO private me on 2 days, making 100 sale after, but Amazon blocked me. And say website, look, I tell you, that's an entirely different thing. I think that's a scammer in the making, right? I'm just going to block that one.
It is a thing, and it's quite hard to do. Like Amazon do, they're very quick to block accounts and stuff like that. I had an affiliate account before, and yeah, they blocked it and they wouldn't let me open another one. I think, yeah, it's quite hard. I think to become an affiliate, you need like a decent following on some sort of social media platform, I think. And then I think you also need like either like a website or a forum or something like that. But again, it's not something we talk about. It's not something we go into. It's not something we really know anything about. We're more, yeah, the online arbitrage, FBA, that sort of space.
Yeah. Can you use the same invoice for different products from the same brand? Right. Really good question. That's never once worked for me, but Reese swears that you used to be able to do that, but Amazon has apparently changed it, so now you can't do that. Sam, what are your thoughts on that?
So if you use the same, say that again, the same invoice for different products.
Say I want to buy a Lego T-Rex, but my
Yeah.
invoice is for a Lego keyring. Can I use the keyring invoice on the T-Rex?
So I always used to work. And no, yes, it does. Like the mentorship guys do it all the time. For example, I'm not going to tell you which product it is, just going to give it away. But in order to get ungated in a certain category and the brand, they used an invoice from someone, and that worked for both. And they applied for just random listings. And I think a lot of the ungates we've got on the mentorship ungate list is just the cheapest possible product within that brand. Like we got like a Samsung product which costs us like 30 quid for 100 units, but there's no Amazon listing, so we just chuck it on any old Amazon Samsung listing, and yeah, it's been approved. So yeah, 100% you can. It's yeah, people get approved all the time.
That has literally never worked for me. Not one time has that ever worked.
Yeah, it's you know, Amazon like it's no consistency at all, is there?
No consistency whatsoever. Completely arbitrary.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you use it? Say, yeah, we answered that one. All right, cool. Questions have gone down, so let me go to the next talking point.
Oh, here we go. Terry's popped up. Is there going to be a Seller Smart party at Sam's mansion in Ibiza? Probably not, mate. I think starters, I wish I had a mansion. Secondly, I've got an apartment, and between me, my wife, and 2 kids, there's no space for anyone else. It is tight. So you, my friend, will have to find somewhere else to stay. But if everyone comes out, I'll be happy to meet, and we can definitely have a party.
We were talking. We need to do a Seller Smart meetup really soon. We've been like sat on it for too long, and I think we might do like a retreat getaway at some point. Right? Do like a 3 or 4 day retreat somewhere nice like Portugal.
What, for the whole Seller Smart people?
No, like we'll do an offer, like a in-person training at a retreat somewhere nice. I think we're going to do that at some point.
Yeah, right. That'll be lovely to go to Portugal.
Hell yeah. So, for example, can I use Boots or Superdrug invoices in order to get ungated?
So Superdrugs, you know, it's no point. Don't even try Superdrug. It's so difficult to get an invoice if they even give you one. And another thing, if the invoice is even correct, like Superdrugs are just terrible. They're the worst for invoices. So I would not rely on Superdrug for any form of ungating at all. Boots, for me, I struggle to get Boots invoices. It's just a pain in the ass. They take forever. You've got to constantly chase them, and it's just long-winded. Other people have a lot more success. For me, I wouldn't really use those 2 retailers. I just think their invoicing is just unreliable and it takes too long. You want to ideally use retailers where you get an invoice. You can either download it from your account on like the orders page, or they email it to you on like Dispatch or something like that. Like Notino is a great one because you can download that straight away. I think they even email it to you. John Lewis, they email that to you as part of like the order confirmation. That's great. Sephora, you can download that from the from your account. What else? Like Sports Direct, you can download from the account. Holland & Barrett, you can download from the account. So yeah, those ones, it's just easier. There's nothing worse than using a retailer to get ungated than having to wait 30 days for them to actually provide an invoice. So yeah, just if you're in the Discord, just drop us a message if you want to use a certain retailer, and then we can let you know if it's going to be any good or not. Terry said, will there be a bar at the retreat? That's all he cares about, isn't it? Just beer in hand. And mate, definitely. I don't think I'd be going if there wasn't.
Sam, can you hear me? I can't hear you at all now.
Yeah, I can hear you. Fine.
Give me 1 sec. I'm going to disconnect my headphones and reconnect.
Okay, mate. Yeah, any other questions, feel free. I've got absolutely no one on my TikTok. No one showed me love today. Up to me, Pappy, young cook. Where have you got that from, Terry? Please let me know how you thought of that one. So KN, hello FBA. I'm living in the UK. Which market is good for me? USA or UK? And way is good. So we were having a conversation about this earlier, which you might have just missed. If you live in the UK, just sell on the UK marketplace. It'll be so much easier. US marketplace is the biggest marketplace, followed by Germany, then followed by the UK. But it is so much easier to just sell where you live. It's going to make your life a lot easier in terms of setting up companies and knowing the market, knowing how everything works and everything like that. So for me, yeah, I would say just set up in the UK. Although the US is a bigger marketplace, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do bigger and better things over there. The grass isn't always greener. So yeah, set up in the UK. And then once you've got the UK established, if you do want to move over to the US, then you can do that. There's a lot of pitfalls with the US. Everything sells a lot quicker, which is great, but everything takes a lot longer and everything is much more expensive. If you're looking for like accountants, are more expensive. Prep centers are much more expensive. Shipping stuff into Amazon is much more expensive. It's all much more expensive, to be honest with you. It takes longer. Like it can take a week for a product to get delivered to you. Prep can take a good 3-4 days, and then you've got inbound. As I said to Sean earlier, I've had products which took 8 weeks to get inbound into Amazon, which in the UK is just unheard of. Generally within a week, your product's there. So although US isn't as good as it sounds, and as you live in the UK, yeah, just focus on the UK marketplace. It'll make your life a lot easier and a lot more stress-free, I think.
Yeah. So Ken in our chat said, I'm living in the UK. Which market is good to me, USA or UK? FBA, I'm living in the UK, living in the UK, living in the UK, living in the UK. Yeah. So we said earlier, Sam was just saying then, it's so expensive to sell in the US as someone from the UK. You need £20,000 to £35,000 at least. That's the people that we know who sell in the US. That's what they said to start with. Sell in the UK. The UK is the third largest marketplace in the world. Second is Germany. Germany acts as a central hub for Europe. And then the third is the US. You don't need to sell in multiple marketplaces. That is way too much for a beginner. There is so much you have to learn. Just pick one marketplace, which for you in the UK, choose the UK and sell and get used to it. That's the way to start. Terry also said, will there be a bar at this retreat? Terry, we're going to design this retreat for you specifically, which means it's going to be all vegan. There'll be virgin mimosas, no alcohol, a smoke-free space.
I was going to say, I thought if it was going to be designed for him, it'd be unlimited fags and Stella on tap. And I probably shouldn't say. I was going to say something else, but I'll probably get kicked off on all platforms and be add on again.
Something else a bit more aligned with his name on YouTube.
Yes, exactly that.
So I don't know what happened there. My headphones disconnected and I stopped being able to hear you, but I'm back.
There used to be a band in Thailand called Sputnik, Pappy Young Cook, and my ex-missus used to say up to me all the time. Your ex-missus used to say up to me all the time. I don't know what
was your ex-missus Thai? I wouldn't put it past you. That's how I picture the life of Terry. Jumping from one Thai girl to another. Living
the good life. You was going to say lady voice, right? I was going to say something along those lines, yeah. Unlimited on tap.
Okay, so sourcing from clearance sections, that's a talking point. Yes, so clearance sections is really good for retail arbitrage. It can be good for online arbitrage as well. Clearance or limited stock sections can be a really good way to get high return on investment stock. It's usually time dependent. So if there's an online retailer, you have to snatch it up quickly. And if it's a retail place, you have to do the rounds and do the scanning with seller amp to get there in time. Most of the stock I buy is not clearance section though. Most of it is just stuff that I've manufactured margin on, meaning I've bought the price down low enough. How much clearance do you do, Sam?
Yeah, a little bit. Hard to really put a number on it, to be honest with you. I think I do. A lot of it is what you said, manufacturing the margin, but discount codes and stuff like that on. That's the main thing. But there's quite often there's suppliers having like quick sort of, I guess clearance sales where there's limited stock and you try and clear all of them. So yeah, probably, I guess you got 50-50 OA, A2A. And then out of that 50%, which is online arbitrage, I would probably say maybe 50-50 being clearance versus discount codes and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd say a fair bit.
All right.
Oh, excuse me. So KN said, "Thank you, sir. What is required for UK seller FBA? What is required to sell for a UK seller to an FBA?"
KN, are you a virtual assistant by any chance? Anyway, go ahead, Sam.
So what is required for a UK seller FBA? Not much. Like the barriers to entry is pretty low. I think you need an address in the UK, and then that's generally about it. You need a UK seller account. If you have those two things, then that's generally all you need. If you don't, you say you live in the UK, apparently. If you do, then again, you won't need a prep center. We don't have to have a prep center. So if you lived abroad, then you'd need a prep center, but you don't. So yeah, you don't need much. A UK address, and an Amazon seller account, and yeah, that's all you really need, to be honest with you.
Okay, Sam, how would you go about spotting a tanking product before you buy it? What red flags do you look for?
Offer count increasing. If the offer count is increasing, then you can generally tell that it's going to keep increasing and the price is only going to go down. So that's the main red flag. Another red flag is where you're buying the products from. If you're buying it from like Smiths, for example, I think everything for me just goes absolutely terribly on Smiths. I think it's different if you're going in store. If you go in store, then it's a lot better with Smiths because again, you're very limited on what stores have what. If you're doing online arbitrage with Smiths, I think it's just pretty terrible and the things always crash. So I think there's certain retailers, that's going to be a big red flag. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, certain retailers, big red flag, and then also if the offer count is starting to increase, if you can see that, then that's obviously a red flag. And then lastly, just looking at the history of the listing, if you can see on the listing that this has happened before and the offer count started to go up and the price started to come down, then it's a very high chance that it's going to happen again. So you don't have to discount it straight away, but you want to try and figure out why, how long it took for the price to recover. If the price recovered pretty quickly, and although the offer count came up, and then all the sellers dropped off within a couple of weeks or a month, then that's not too bad. But if it took like 4, 5, 6 months to recover, then yeah, that's a red flag. You don't really want to go near that one again.
I just realized someone in our community is using someone else's tag and I help them every day. I'm going to send them some sass. How dare they? All right. So, how do you spot a red flag? Did you mention in that how easy the lead was to find?
Yes, I did.
Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to double check. Bundles, unique bundles. You ever tried that?
No, sorry, that KN's just messaged again. He said, if we speak a bit about tax, when and how much will be. I don't know. I don't know what he's saying, mate, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't really know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just did on my side because
So prior, do you say unique bundles? I've never done it myself. I looked at it a few.
bless you.
Thank you, bless me. I've never done it. I've looked at it. I've bought a course on it before, joined a Facebook group on it before. Just never actioned it. So no, I haven't done it. There was, I think, when I was looking at it, there's a lot of changes with Amazon's TOS, and I think that sort of put me off a little bit. But yeah, it's not something I've really looked into before, to be honest with you. How about you?
No, I've not tried it yet. I really liked in our mentorship we had a guest speaker who does really well with Amazon. Really nice guy. I'm going to try and meet him for. In fact, Sam, you and I need to try and meet him for a live podcast at some point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were chatting about doing that. So what he said, I completely agree with. He was saying arbitrage leads into wholesale, leads into unique bundles, leads into private label as you go down the line. I haven't done unique bundles or private label yet. Of course, I will test it because I want to see which of the models I like the most. I'm really into marketing, so I can imagine I would like private label. I don't have time to build a private label brand. I'm building Seller Smart along with the rest of the team. But I'm definitely up for testing unique bundles at some point. But unique bundles has essentially turned into another version of private label. Either you need letters of authorization direct from the brand, or you need to be selling your own brand. It's not as easy as it used to be. Doesn't mean it's not good, of course. It's just something I've never tried.
Yeah, likewise. I think you can definitely do well out of it. But yeah, as you say, not something we really looked into too much.
All right, what's the next one? So bundles. Sam, what is your justification for the claim that you think people should have about 20 grand for wholesale before they get into wholesale?
What is my justification? Because experience is my main one, and I think with wholesale you have to buy a lot of units and you have to go quite deep on stock. So instead of buying, I don't know, 5-10 units like you would with on an arbitrage, you then have to buy 100 units, 200 units, 500, 1,000 units. So you've got to buy a lot more stock. You're not buying a month's worth of stock. You're going to have that stock for a good 2, 3, 4, 5 months. So that is going to stunt your growth massively. You're also competing with other huge sellers who have got lots of capital. So you need to be able to compete on price. If you're only buying a few units, you're not going to get the best possible price. Someone else is always going to beat you. And then also it's being able to buy as many ASINs as possible. If you have, I don't know, like 5 grand or something, and then you manage to buy 2 wholesale products with that, you've got all of your capital tied up on 2 products. If one of those listings goes tits up for whatever reason, loads of sellers come on it, a wholesaler comes on it, it gets deactivated or whatever, something happens, then that's 50% of your capital tied up on dead stock, which you can't do anything with. You're either going to have to hold it for ages or you're going to have to sell it for a loss or something. But it's essentially dead stock. So now you've got 50% working capital, 50% dead stock, and you're just not really in a great position. The more capital you have, the more you can spread your risk and you can go on a lot wider across multiple ASINs. So instead of just buying 2, you can then buy 20. And then if you've got 20 ASINs, if one thing happens to like 1 or 2 of them, it's not the end of the world because you've got another 18 or so in the background, which are doing quite well. So that is my justification, and this is what happened to me in the US. I went very deep on very few ASINs, and then it all just it just didn't go to plan, and the listings crashed, and then all my capital was tied up, and then it was just an absolute nightmare.
Thrive Nation said, "How can you see if a wholesaler on the listing or an individual seller?" When you get good at reading Keeper, you're gonna get familiar. You're gonna build up a knowledge of familiar names. So when I'm on the listing, if the brand is on the listing, I wouldn't buy the product. Too risky. You could get an IP risk, and the brand can obviously buy it cheaper than you because they're the manufacturer. Equally, if there is a seller on the listing that has loads of reviews and loads of stock, I can look into their company information and I can see if they're a wholesaler or distributor. Again, tricky to compete with them because they're always going to be able to buy it cheaper than you. That's one way that you can check. For you, Thrive Nation, for anyone else in this who's going to stick to arbitrage, just try to find listings where sellers come in and out, throughout the year. There's no flat line drop-offs on the seller count because that's an indication that the brand has issued an IP. And try to find other sellers with similar reviews. Keep building up your database. Keep finding new products that you can buy and sell. And get ready for tomorrow as well. Prime Day is really good for Amazon to Amazon.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a good day, hopefully.
Speaking of, so Thrive just said you only use SaaS. We do recommend Keeper and SellerAmp SaaS. You can't get a complete picture of the listing without Keeper. Keeper gives you a lot more granular detail. So if you're going to do Amazon, to do it the right way with less issues, less headaches, you need to use both. I don't understand when people say you don't need both. I think they don't know how to use Keeper properly. I think that's why they're saying that, because SaaS does not give you all the information that you need to collect from Keeper and SaaS. Why do you think that might be? Do you think they're just trying to convince people to start with less money, maybe?
I don't know. It's the most ridiculous thing I've heard. Like, I would never buy a product unless I've looked at Keeper. SellerAmp doesn't give you the correct information. It doesn't give you the information you need. Like, yeah, SellerAmp's got that tiny little Keeper graph on the bottom, but it's not clear enough. Like, you need Keeper. There's so much information in Keeper you can use, which is going to give you a much better buying decision. If you're buying without Keeper, you just sort of shoot in the dark. Really, you don't really know what you're buying blind. 100% get Keeper for the sake of how much it costs. It's 100% worth it. It's the best tool for Amazon. So yeah, definitely get Keeper. We actually had 2 people join the mentorship, and they said, "Oh, we have never used Keeper before. I only ever used SaaS." They said, "Oh yeah, you don't need Keeper. Like, it's fine. You don't need Keeper. We can just use SaaS." And then within a week, they realised how wrong they were, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, well, we definitely need Keeper." Like, so yeah, you definitely invest in Keeper, mate. It's going to make your life a lot easier.
Thrive, you said, so if Keeper is better, why not just get Keeper and not SaaS? They're not the same tool. They do different things. Keeper is to analyze a listing. SaaS is to analyze it in different ways and to export the listing, to organize your data, to keep track of your purchases with it, to link with your virtual assistants, to analyze your profit. You don't analyze profit with Keeper, you do with SaaS. They do 2 completely different things.
Yeah.
SaaS is a really good snapshot. Keeper is really detail. It goes into granular detail on the listing. For example, SellerAmp SaaS might not tell me accurately how much a variation listing is selling for. Keeper, I can figure it out pretty accurately. Keeper, I can see the entire historical sellers on the listing. I can see when they were selling. I can look at their stock going in and out. I can look historically through the data on the listing and see if there's any IP signs. Keeper and SaaS are just 2 different things. You have to use both of them to do this business model properly.
Yeah, agrees. But yeah, as Sean said, SaaS is your profit calculation. Keeper just tells you all the analytics and the history of everything about that listing ever since it was first created. 2 different tools. They're not really comparable. You need them both.
Thrive said, makes sense. I guess I need Keeper as well. 100%, definitely. There's a learning curve. Keeper is a learning curve. It's going to look like Greek to you, unless you are Greek, obviously. the better you get at it, the more quickly you can look at a listing. And within 10 seconds, I can look at a keeper graph and go, okay, I know pretty much what's going on in this listing. Then I can look into it further. You do need both. It is worth the cost. You will be far safer as a seller using both. And you can use Keeper for so many other things as well. Like you can use Keeper to help with wholesale, finding wholesale suppliers. You can use Keeper to, what was I about to say? You can use Keeper, you can use Keeper for sourcing Amazon to Amazon. So we've got Prime Day tomorrow. Keeper is what we'll be using to do that.
You can't sort, well, I suppose you can source with SellerAmp, yeah, but it's not quite the same. You can do like storefront sourcing with SellerAmp, but in terms of Keeper, yeah, you can do, Keeper Product Finder is great for A2A, it's great for OA. You can, Keeper Deals, great for A2A. You can track products with it. You can send notifications from Keeper if a price meets within your criteria and stuff like that. There's so much in there. It's a no-brainer, really. You need it.
Mick ended up the scan with 474 on gates. Bravo. That's very good. Someone who's never sold on their account, that's really good. And Throw said, I also need a ungating tool. Absolutely, mate. Give it a go. It will help a lot. Honestly, it's really good. It's really good.
I was hoping he'd hit close to 1,000, but quite enough, but still, very good going.
Yeah, 474 for a brand new account is awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, we've got 10 more minutes, guys. What else do you want us to tell you today? I'll tell you what, for the next 10 minutes, we will drop all the source. Anything you ask, we'll tell you. Unlike the rest of this live where we've been telling you anything. Nothing's changed. Okay, right, Sam. So when you are on a listing and competition has increased and the price has gone down, what is your step-by-step process that you follow when you decide, should I cut my losses and sell it, or should I hold and stay on the listing?
So it depends how many people have come on the listing, and also depends how quickly the listing sells. If, 20 sellers have come on the listing and it sells 10 times a month, then I'm going to be like, okay, well, this is going to be long. I'm probably just going to match down and get out. If 10 sellers have come on the listing, but it sells 100 times a month, doesn't bother me. I'll hold and wait. Chances are the sellers be sold up fairly quickly, so then I can then actually price at the price I want to price it at. They're the main two factors is, how many people actually come on the listing and how quickly it sells. For me, I want to understand how quickly this price is going to recover. If I think it's going to take 3 months to recover, then I'm probably just going to cut my losses. If I think that it can recover in the next sort of month or two, then I'll probably hold out. So that is, that's how I sort of make the decision, to be honest.
I just noticed it's one of our team members' birthday today, and some guys in the team got her a happy birthday cake, which looks really nice. That's really good.
Holy, yeah, big up Holy. Happy birthday.
Yeah, Holy. Mick said, how do you search by brand? I've got the list, how I use it. Yeah, you can export as a CSV, so you can go through that way, or you can go to the or you can go to the CSV, or you can go to the Amazon applications page and you can go through the listings that way. The CSV would be the way I do it. Cal's changed the UI a couple of times recently, and I need to do a rescan. So I would just go by CSV. I've just dropped him a message. So mix CSV and checking the Amazon applications page. That's Cal's not getting what I'm asking. You can then use the brands. It's worth noting that the auto ungator doesn't guarantee that you're allowed to sell the product. It just means that you're eligible to sell it. You still need to do your due diligence. You still need to check keeper and seller amp and see if you're allowed to sell it. It should help you with ungating going forward. You're still going to have to reapply for ungates. Just bear that in mind. It's always been part of the process. And when you've got a list of your ungated brands, you can now start searching for those brands if you want to. You can use Keeper, even do Keeper Product Finder, and start searching for products by brand. That's a really good way to integrate it with your sourcing. Okay, I'm not sure how to use Keeper. Any video recommendations? I think we have a video on our YouTube channel. I'm going to do a Keeper deal analysis. I'm going to do a Keeper analysis video probably this week or next week. Let me find the video. Right, so we've got a video, Keeper Product Finder tutorial. You can check that video. 17th of October. Hey, almost 2,000 views, 75 likes. That's cool. That's one of the highest performing videos we've done. Very cool. I'll do another one of those. I'm neglecting our YouTube, so our YouTube engagement is pretty low, but I'm going to put a lot more time into it.
Right, I'm going to have to shoot, mate, because I've got a call.
Yeah, fair play. All right. Mick, drop me a message on Discord if you've got any questions around the auto ungator. Everyone, thank you for joining the live today. I hope you got some value from it. I hope we can help you make some good money with Amazon and get into it, because it's a really fun business model. It's got a lot of headaches, but it's definitely worth it. Thank you for joining. Join the free Discord community. Schedule a call with us. Message us on TikTok or Instagram or Discord if you want to schedule a call. Prep Center, virtual assistant recruitment, software, auto ungator, account recovery. We've got everything. So have a good day. And Sam, thank you for joining today. Good to see you.
Thank you, mate. Have a good day. Speak to you soon.
All right. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys. Bye.